Hello, today I'm going to be talking about how to make a 3D camera controller like the one you see in Minecraft, like the one you see in many FPS games in Godot 3D. So here I have a simple scene with a height map terrain, just so there's something to look at and we can tell the camera's moving. Then I have a player, which doesn't have any actual mesh or anything yet, but the most important part of the player, as we can see here, is just the camera. So, if we go into the code, this is where all the magic happens. We have a reference to the camera and mouse sensitivity, and then this is where the actual calculation happens and we apply the camera movement. So anytime there's any input, we check if it is mouse movement, and if it is, we are going to get the rotation of X, which is the opposite of how much you moved the mouse on the Y, times mouse sensitivity. It's kind of weird how these are flipped, but that's just the way it is. It gets really weird if it's not. And then we have this is how much we're going to move the X, and this is how much the camera is currently rotated on the X. So, we do this to check if the camera is not looking all the way up or all the way down. That way the player can't move their head like in a 360 rotation upwards, because that can really throw off calculations and it's just weird. You can't look up too far or look down too far. So if the rotation of X is greater than 0, so we're moving in a positive direction, and the current is less than 90, then we can go ahead and move. Or if we're moving in a negative direction and the current is greater than negative 90, then we can also go ahead and move. And you can adjust these to change how far up and down you want the player to be able to move. Then we, on the camera.rotate.x, deg to rand, because this is going to take radians, and I did all my calculations in degrees. And we just give it rotation x. Rotation I is far easier to calculate. You just have rot I equals deg to rand, the opposite of x, times mouse sensitivity. Basically the same as this. Then just apply that to the player, not the camera. This is important that you apply it to the player, not the camera. Because if you apply it to the camera, then it's not going to, I don't know how to describe it, rotate altogether. So the X rotation you're applying to the camera, and the Y rotation you're applying to the player, the actual body of the player. So, one more thing. If you can see, I run it right now. It works, and it's following where I'm going. Going up, can't go too far up, can't go too far down, can go around. But the issue is, my mouse is still on the screen, and I can't look too far off because it will just go off the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to lock the mouse. So under game, you can do this anywhere. I just am to lock the mouse, input.set mouse mode capture. To unlock the mouse, input.set mouse mode visible. I have it in a way where if I hit the 1 on the keyboard, it makes it captured, and if I hit 2, it makes it not captured. You'd probably want a different way for your own project, but it's important that you have a way for it to become uncaptured. That way they can actually navigate out of the window and hit X or hit something else if they need to. So, if I run this, and I hit 1 to capture my mouse in the center, you can see I'm moving around, it's following my cursor. I can spin my head around there, I can look up, I can look down, and just look all around. That is it. Hope I was helpful. Goodbye.